nice to be back. I feel like I've got my back to you guys. Sorry, I sort of opened up a bit.
There's a big screen there on you. You got a camera so you can see our.
Oh, lovely.
Now I was under the impression that we will be going to the floor for some questions from you fine folks, and I think there's a runner who's got a microphone in one of these aisles, or that is.
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
There she is.
There she is. So this aisle, if you want to ask Matt a question, you can start lining up now, and we'll go to those in just a bit. But we do have a few for you off the top.
We're gonna be selfish.
We're gonna try to be journalists now.
Okay, good.
I went to comedy school, so it's a big stretch.
Yeah.
The first thing I think everyone's kind of interested to know is we've just had a new doctor announced. So what's your reaction to Jodie Whittaker taking on the role?
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? Well, I was thrilled, actually. I think it's exactly what the show needs. I mean, not that it needed anything, but I think that Doctor Who as an idea is at its best when it's reinventing things and when it's being brave with the form. And I think, having a woman come in and play the Doctor suddenly makes me go, wow, what's she gonna do? What's she, and I'm just, she's a brilliant actress, she's a great person, and I think she's gonna be a rocket, I really do. I'm really excited.
Being that you were a former doctor, do you get privy to that information? Like, did you know it was going to be Jodie Whittaker before the press did?
No, but I tried to find out from all the top people. Honestly, and me and kind of David Tennant were texting each other going, do you know? And I was like, no. And then I texted the head of the BBC and was like, can you tell me? And he was like, no way. And then I found out like a day before or something. And I rang Jodie and left her an answer phone message. It was like, I know that you're going to be Doctor Who. Phone me back. And she did, and I was like, oh my God. You're in for a wild ride. It's weird, because it's kind of one of those things that nothing can prepare you to become part of this mad family that we all belong to. And it's so, she's just got so many strange, bizarre adventures in front of her. I'm really excited for her, and also really frightened. And I know that the workload that she's got is just so enormous, So we'll see. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
Well, I want to also congratulate you on the success of The Crown.
Thank you.
All right, big fan right there.
You like the royals here, don't you? Yeah, I'm kind of staying in this hotel, and I was walking past and I saw a picture of Prince Philip on the wall, and I was like, my God, what the hell are you doing here?
Okay, so I read somewhere that you've actually compared playing Prince Philip to the Doctor, so how's that?
Well, the thing is about Prince Philip and the Doctor is that ultimately, this was my thinking, is that they're both aliens in their own world. Kind of. So, because he's the outsider, he gets into the royal family, he marries in and he goes, oh my God, no one likes me, I'll do what I want anyway. I won't ask my wife permission for anything. And there's that thing where they don't quite fit in their environment, and then it makes them. He's a maverick, Prince Philip, and I think the Doctor's a bit of a maverick. And I think that about Patrick Bateman as well, who I played in a musical. And maybe I just like to think that I play. I mean, no one's as cool as the Doctor, but if anyone could be as cool, I think Prince Philip's pretty close. I think he's really cool. Lots of people don't. Lots of people think he's just this kind of bumbling, strange old dude who says the wrong thing, but I think he's a total rock star.
You gotta be pretty cool to marry a princess, right?
Yeah.
Marry the queen, like that's...
Yeah. What, like the princess as well.
Exactly.
So, he was a fascinating character to play, actually.
Well, I wanted to bring it back to Doctor Who for a moment, because in the years since I've interviewed you here at Fan Expo, I've had the pleasure of hosting panels with Karen Gillan, and of course, also Arthur Garvel.
Yes.
And for so many of us fans, that triad, that trinity, the three of you, was something magical on television. What do you attribute to the success of that combination? I mean, we know that you guys got along swimmingly off the screen as well. What was that magic like, or why was it so magical?
It's a very good question. I don't know. I think sometimes you're lucky. You know, you're lucky with the kind of alchemy of these things. And me and Karen really were sort of best friends. I knew Arthur before from a play. I'd done a play with him, and so when he auditioned and I saw his name on the list, I was like, yeah, pick that guy. Because I knew that me and Arthur have a sort of strange, I love Arthur, he's so, he's so ridiculous, Arthur. And it was really cool, because he's like the most amazing musician. He can play anything. If you go, he's the most amazing pianist. And so, it was a strange sort of alchemy, and we were lucky. And the same is said of me, Stephen Moffat, I think that was, we got on, and somehow, with the luck of art and life, there was a strange harmony that existed. And here we are, still talking about it, years later.
Well, something that's really fun for us too at our space booth, we constantly see the Doctor, they love the Doctor cosplay. Like, we always see that.
Yeah.
And you actually had a bit of a part in creating the look of the Doctor.
Yeah.
So how much input did you have?
Big part, big part. I mean, I went, for the first meeting, the first casting, I went in a tweed blazer, which is why he wears a tweed blazer, because I thought, well, he's old, so I've got to make him feel kind of professorial, and I had a tweed, which I loved, which I could obviously never wear again. And I was really annoyed at the time. I was like, it's a bit cooler now. I was like, yeah. And then, anyway, so that went out the window. And then, I sort of knew I wanted him to be in a pair of boots, maybe. But I tried so many costumes on. At first, he was quite piracy. He was in stripes and a long coat, and he looked a bit like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. And because at the time, that was around, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah. I didn't want him to be too cool. That was the thing. I didn't want him to sort of look like he was trying to be too cool. Anyway, so then we got the whole costume on, and then something was missing, and I was like, can I try a bow tie on? And Stephen Moffat was like, no, you can't wear a bow tie. Honestly, I was like, go on, please, just let me try it on. And I tried it on, and suddenly it sort of lifted the whole outfit. And here we are. And you're wearing a bow tie.
I was gonna say, you made bow ties cool.
It's like I knew I was hosting the Matt Smith panel tonight. Planned ahead or something.
Very strategic, AJ. What do you want to do?
We should go to the floor. We have people who are excited to ask questions, so let's go right there.
Welcome back to Canada, Your Majesty.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed.
So here's my question. Throughout your time as acting as the Doctor in Doctor Who and Prince Philip in The Crown, has there by any chance ever been a stressful and a hard moment when it comes to acting in these huge roles?
Yeah, lots. So many stressful half moments. I mean,
Good question.
yeah, very good question. I think the thing with both of them is that there was a great deal of pressure from the outside. The thing with Doctor Who is I'd walk down the street and people would be like, "Don't break Doctor Who." And they'd be like, "Please love me." And everyone loved David so much and loved Russell so much. Rightly so, because that was such an amazing era. But so me and Stephen came in and couldn't help but feel, and I hadn't spoken a word either. That was the thing, no one really knew. And because I was young and unknown, everyone was like, shame on you. And kind of similarly with Prince Philip, he's really known to the public. He's part of British culture, and so there's a pressure to sort of get those people right. So yeah, that was difficult, but hey, that's sort of why you do it, when it's frightening and a challenge. Good question.
Give Matt Smith an Emmy Award.
Hello. I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous, and I apologize if I say the word so much.
Sorry, I missed that. I was talking over you.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
No, please. Honestly, it's my fault. I should be apologising. You've done nothing wrong. Please, carry
Thank
on.
you. So, I'd like to point out that I noticed that quite a few of your Doctor Who cast member. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm doing it again.
It's alright. I do it all the time.
They've gone off to join like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all that. Like Karen Gillan, she's in Guardians of the Galaxy, and David Tennant, he now plays Kilgrave and Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, would you ever be interested in joining that universe as well? And is there any cast members you'd like to work with, or would you like to reunite with your Doctor Who cast members?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. They've got to ask me, though, the swines. So, you know, when they ask me, maybe, and it would have to be the right project, you know, it'd have to be something that felt different enough to Doctor Who, I suppose. But yeah, look, I'd love to. I love so many of those movies, and I love so much of that world. And I love Nebula, because Karen's blue. It's blue Karen. With no hair. So if I could sort of meet Nebula and rub her on the head, tick her on the chin. Yeah, I don't know if there's that many Marvel characters that are ridiculous though. I want it to be a bit ridiculous, I suppose. Anyway, yeah, I'd love to, basically, if you're listening, Marvel.
Give them a part.
Yeah, and an Emmy, you swines.
On that topic, though, I mean, both David Tennant is playing Kilgrave, a villain, and then...
Yeah, I love him in that. I love seeing David as a villain.
Would you want to play a villain? Is there a, comic book character villain that you think you might want to take a stab at?
I mean, I don't know that world so intrinsically. It's like, I hate to say this, don't boo me, but when I got Doctor Who, I'd never watched an episode. Can you believe that? And I read the script, I read the 11th hour, and I was like, wow. And then I got the part, and I watched everything, and now I know, I've watched literally everything, pretty much everything. There's a few Doctors I haven't seen as much.
There are missing episodes, too.
Yeah. And anyway, I'm digressing. Sorry, back to the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
So I got a very generic question.
Okay.
What was your favorite Doctor Who episode that you were in?
Very good question. It's a very difficult answer, this. It's like going, what's your favourite album? Firstly, what's your favourite episode? I know. His is the 11th hour.
Well, I did really enjoy Day of the Doctor, I guess.
Day of the Doctor, yeah, good. That's not mine. I think it's somewhere between... Look, I think season 5 is the best season we did, probably. I think it's either the 11th hour, Vincent and the Doctor. Pandora Opens, I think it's really good. What's the one in season 6, the opener in America? That's good. The Impossible Astronaut or A Christmas Carol. 1 of 5. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good ones, right?
We were just talking about villains. Your favorite, or a monster,
Yes,
I guess.
I do. Who's your favourite monster?
Weeping Angel.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, top 3 Doctor Who villains. 1, Weeping Angel. Let's do this as a group. I mean, it's basically therapy for the weekend anyway, isn't it? So, 2, it has to be the Daleks, doesn't it?
Classic.
This is the important one. 3, who's the 3rd?
Cyberman.
Yes! Do we agree on the silence? Or it's the silence.
It's got Cybermen.
The Cybermen, I know, but here's the thing with the Cybermen. Well, I don't think we've really got the Cybermen right since, and we'll see who are real Doctor Who fans now, Tomb of the Cybermen. Who remembers that episode? Only a few. That's when they were really scary. Sorry? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just one lonely fan for spare part of the audience. And the Master's tricky to leave him behind, isn't it? Missy was great. Yeah, is it Missy? Is it John Sim? Oh, is it, God knows. I'd like to come back as the Master. Be cool, that, wouldn't it? Yeah. Sorry, I'm... The Valley... Oh, yeah. Anyway, I've got to stop torturing myself into Doctor Who. I have left.
Hopefully that answered your question. We'll go back to the floor for more from that Smith.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just wondering if you had any piece of advice to give to someone who wanted to pursue a career in film or theater, what would that advice be?
Okay, well, I think you should read as many plays as you can, because that's always such a good place to start creatively. And I think, it's about... I mean, nowadays you've got YouTube and you've got your phones and you've got cameras, and I think you can create anywhere, but I think it's about... it's hard not to be generic about this, really, because you'll find your own path, but following the stories that you really believe in, never really giving up, because there's so many people that want to do it, and you've just got to keep going, pushing, and believing in yourself. And read plays, try and find like-minded people, and don't give up, really. I don't know if that's good advice.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Good luck. Don't give up. Go for it. Hello.
Hi, I'm super nervous, sorry.
Don't worry, man.
Okay. You've played, sounds really weird. I love you as a doctor.
Thank you.
Maybe a tiny bit more than David Tennant. Don't boo me.
Oh, controversial. Controversial.
So since you played an iconic role like the Doctor, I was wondering if you were interested in playing another iconic person, like, for example, DC and Warner Brothers are doing a Joker movie with Martin Scorsese producing. Would you be interested in playing the Joker?
Yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream. I mean, look, the thing about the Joker, that's the dream part. I love that part, but Heath Ledger did it so brilliantly. Jared's doing it now, and Jack Nicholson. Remember Jack Nicholson's Joker? Yeah, look, I'd love to play that part. And Batman's my favourite superhero, so, be good to take it down, but I don't know, getting in mind Scorsese's Joker, it's a tough world. That's a tough gig.
I think you could pull it off.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, let him know. So, okay, 3 things. Marvel, just note to self, an Emmy, and the Joker. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Doctor Who has a really really great history, over 50 years now. Over that history, or since you've left the role of the Doctor, have you encountered a story that you were like, man, I wish I was the Doctor when this story was written, when it was acted, even though it was written for another Doctor, you're like, I would have loved to play 11 in this story.
Yeah, so much. I mean, what, since I did it, or even before as well?
Both.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, like, all the time. Tomb of the Cybermen, I love that story with David Tennant when he meets the devil. I think that's a brilliant one. It's I mean, every Christmas special there ever is, because there's something about Doctor Who and Christmas. Being on telly on Christmas Day is amazing. Because you're like, you've got, you have your turkey and stuff, and you're like, oh cool, I'm going to watch Doctor Who, and then you're like, hold on, I'm in Doctor Who. And my mum would get really excited. Yeah, so pretty much, if I could do one of them again, it would be the Christmas specials. That's exactly what David said, I think, is just let me do the Christmas special every year, and I'll be happy. But you know, you have to hand it on, and that's why it's brilliant, and that's what we were sort of talking about earlier, is that that's why, how amazing that it refuses to be defined. Doctor Who, and people go, oh, it shouldn't be this, it shouldn't be someone young, it shouldn't be a woman, and then it goes, bang, have that. And it reinvents itself, and it asks us all to go along with it, and I think that's why it's totally brilliant, and that's why we're all here, in a room, talking about Doctor Who, dressed with mad scarves and feathers.
On the topic of the Christmas special, we know we're saying goodbye to Peter Capaldi at this upcoming Christmas special. You know, I remember interviewing you in the past when Peter Capaldi was announced as your successor and talking about advice for him. Have you talked to him since, and have you given him advice on, like, saying goodbye to the role and that joy of, you know, appearing in the Christmas special?
Wow, yeah, I mean, it's hard, because you sort of don't know how much of these things that you should say, but it's only the doctors really know what the doctors go through, do you know what I mean? And so we have this sort of strange, I mean, it's not a club, but
I'm picturing a TARDIS and you all show up together and have tea.
And we're all dressed in our costumes, and you know, and we fight to see who flies. But there is that thing where you go, how was it, man? And yeah, it's tough. Leaving's hard. And there's this weird day where you die, essentially, and this other guy is just there in your clothes, and you're like, why are you dressed as me? And it's very, very strange. But yeah, leaving's tough. It's tough, and I'm sure it was tough for Peter. In fact, I know it was, but he's such a brilliant actor, and he's going to do so many brilliant things after it, and you just have to keep, you know, trying to find the new.
Go back to the floor. Hello, Doctor.
Hi.
Hey.
I have 2 questions.
Okay. Well, that's greedy, but well.
First one is, what was your favorite, like, behind the scenes moment of filming Doctor Who?
Oh God, that's tough. I mean, what's my favourite moment? You know, there was a screening in New York for the 11th hour, and we didn't really know how the show was going to be received in the States. And this screening, there was a real buzz in the air, and there was a real atmosphere, and we suddenly went, wow, it feels like they like Doctor Who. And of course, you know, Canada's had it for a long, long time, but we didn't know in the same way about America. Australia's had it for a long, long time as well, and that felt like a real shift and a real moment. And then just winding Karen up in any way. I used to hide in her trailer and scare her. And one day I hid in her shower. Yeah, and you know, she's quite jumpy, and she was so frightened she cried. She was like, oh! So yeah, making Karen cry, that's my favourite moment.
Sneak your second one in there.
Yo, sneak. Yeah, we sneak, as she said.
What would you want the Doctor to go on in a future adventure?
Where? What? Where? Where would I want him to go? I have always wanted the Doctor, or, you know, an episode that I would have loved, and I asked for, but we couldn't really afford it, was Atlantis. It was to go down and it'd be all sort of underwater and weird, and there'd be sea monsters. But the problem is, shooting underwater is very expensive and takes a lot of time. And Doctor Who, you know, expensive and time are not things that you can, you know, entertain, really. Which is weird for a Time Lord, isn't it? But yes, Atlantis would be cool.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Before my question, I just want to say thank you, because when I started watching Doctor Who, specifically your seasons, I was going through a really tough time in my life, and it was just the most wonderful thing to remind me that there's still magic and whimsy in the world, and that is thanks a lot to you. So thank you so much.
I'm really pleased. It could take you into your imagination for a bit. That's what we all want. Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
No, hey, thank you.
So my question is...
Go on, hit me.
Same question I actually asked Karen when I came to her Q&A. What was the most intense or emotional moment for you in filming? If it's something that just stands out to you the most.
Good question. When Amy Pond died, I hated that. I love Amy Pond.
Yeah.
I loved her, and so that was really tough. And, you know, I knew that Arthur and Karen were sort of leaving me. I was staying on. I'd always agreed to stay on. And they were going, and that was really tough. But then I got Jenna, so it was all right. But yeah, I'd say that. And the regeneration is always really tough. But weirdly, with the regeneration, they sort of picked a take. Like, there were other takes where my doctor found it much harder to go, and I sort of wanted them to pick one of those. And they picked one which wasn't quite as emotional, I suppose. But that's always pretty tough. But the great thing about Doctor Who is that you get to do all of those things all the time. Every week, you know, you get to explore the depth and range of yourself as an actor. It's a truly wonderful job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Whoa. Hey, are you Belle?
Yes.
Belle is my favourite Disney princess. And, you know, that would get me in trouble because Cinderella is very close to me. But Belle is amazing. And, I mean, Beauty and the Beast, the Disney cartoon, I love that cartoon. I love it. You look absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much. Before my question, may I ask what's on your socks?
Love hearts, Belle. So there.
So my question is one I actually also asked to Karen, like the last person. If you could do an episode kind of like Vincent and the Doctor, where you went back and met someone else, who would you pick? Karen picked Elvis, so...
Of course she did. Okay, I've got to get this right. This is like when people go, what's your favourite film? Or who's your favourite actor? And then I never know. That's a good question. I like that question. Who would be interesting? Damn. Jim Morrison? Oh, that would be weird, wouldn't it? I mean, maybe. Yeah, the Beatles? No, I'm not sure about musicians. It's got to be someone. The thing is, here's the thing. I got really into... When I got the part, I thought, how do you access this sort of mad, brilliant 900-year-old, because he was 900 then, year-old scientist? And so I looked a lot at Einstein. And I think an episode between the Doctor and Einstein, but where Einstein's a real pain in the arse, and he's sort of fumbling around and always making mistakes, and the Doctor's really disappointed. I think maybe that could be cool. How about it'd be like a buddy movie.
Thank you.
Hi.
Always wear my song.
I just want to say from one actor to another, your performances have really, really inspired me in a lot of the acting decisions I make. And so I wanted to thank you for always bringing a unique performance to whatever role you take.
Oh man, thank you. Well, listen, thank you.
I wanted to ask, what did you learn from the transition to doing a TV show or a movie to doing theater? For like in American Psycho, especially a musical, what did you find was the biggest shift that you had to do?
Well, you know, they're sort of slightly different disciplines, I suppose, in many ways, but also they're kind of the same, really, because you've got to interpret people and tell the truth. And I think theatre's a great place to learn and get better and hone your craft and your skills. I saw a couple of theatres on the way, actually. Well, I went for breakfast and passed the Sony Theatre. I thought, wow, it's quite a theatrical city, maybe. But if you're fortunate enough, I think you want to try your hand at all the different forms, really. And it's more about following the writing and following the part. What about you? I asked the same question to you. Which one do you find more challenging?
Well, I mean, in theater, you don't get to forget your lines, really.
No. Although, it gets really interesting when you do. To be or not. To be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You sounded a bit like Elvis then. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'd like to say, what was it like working on the Day of the Doctor with like the legendary actor John Hurt?
Amazing. I mean, yeah, he was such a generous man. But also, I've been such a fan of his anyway, because in Britain, he's one of our greats, you know. Sadly this year has passed, which was a great tragedy for all of us, really. But he really loved being a doctor. Also, that's the amazing thing. He got to be a doctor, which I just thought was extraordinary. And what a wonderful doctor. I wish we'd have got a bit more of his doctor, actually. So it was a great privilege, really, you know, to work with Johnny. He's one of the greats, and sorely missed. Hello, nice face.
Thank you. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
I wanted to ask.
Go on.
Sorry.
That's all right.
If you had the chance to be another Doctor Who character, other than the Master, who would you be?
Or if I could be a different character.
Yes.
Wow, that's the Master. I'd be the Master.
Well,
Maybe.
other than the Master.
Other than the Master, I would be. Yeah, who would I be? God, that's a good question. Who do Prince Philip. Now, Prince Philip and the Doctor on a trip. Now we're talking. That'd be great. The Doctor goes in. Yeah. He's met the Queen, though, hasn't he? Loads. I would be. Do you know who I quite liked? The guy that Toby Jones played, the Dream Lord. He was kind of cool. Or I'd be a Dalek. A really jazzy Dalek. Who could dance. And grow legs. Who would you be? The Doctor.
Yes.
Okay. If you couldn't be the Doctor, who would you be?
Probably an Ice Warrior.
Who?
Ice Warrior.
An Ice Warrior? You've got to be really tall to be an Ice Warrior. One day.
Yes, maybe.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. You were one of the first doctors that my dad introduced me to. He introduced me to Doctor Who at a very, very young age. You, along with Tom Baker.
Cool. That makes you laugh. Are you a cat?
I'm Catwoman.
Oh, cool. Wow, God, Catwoman. Who's the best Catwoman? Does anyone answer to this?
I don't know the voice actors. I like the ones from the video games. I like her costume.
Oh, okay.
And I like how in Arkham City they brought in the other costumes from like the Batman animated series, and they made them into 3D instead of 2D, which is really cool.
Cool.
When you were talking about how you kind of...
The answer is Michelle Pfeiffer.
When you were talking about about bringing together the costume for when you were the 11th Doctor, it actually reminded me, I've been also working on myself. I've been thinking about, like, if I were the Doctor, what would my costume be? What my characteristics would be? Catchphrases and stuff like that.
Maybe you'd be a cat.
Maybe. Or maybe, like, I could just have a good relationship with them. I don't know. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, my question for you is, when Karen Gillan left the show, was that the cause for you to think about going to different places and trying new things?
Sorry, when Karen left, was it because she wanted to go to new places and try different things?
No, when she left, because we know that you were really good friends with her, was that the cause of you, like, starting to think about to go different places and try different things and leave Doctor Who? Or was there another reason?
Did she leave because of me? Sorry.
I'm rambling, I'm sorry.
I'm slightly
I
misunderstanding.
seem like I'm calm, but inside I'm just like...
No.
I think that Karen leaving wasn't the catalyst for you, obviously, so Doctor Who for another year or 2 years, but like, was it a bit of a catalyst for you thinking, maybe when's the end of my time as the Doctor?
Oh, yes, sorry,
Like
thank
that.
you.
I'm so sorry for confusing you.
No, it's my fault, I'm a complete imbecile. It's jet lag. Yeah, I mean, I always knew that I was going to stay. I always knew that I was going to stay for another year, and then, you know, there was maybe I would have stayed on beyond my final year, but then at that point I thought you can't get too comfortable, and you've got to go and try something new, you know, and it's I mean, like I said, it's such a difficult show to leave because it's such a brilliant character. There's really no one like him. But yeah, as an actor, you've got to keep doing things that frighten you and scare you. Actually, for the acting advice, that's it. Do things that frighten you and scare you, that make you feel uncomfortable. And yeah, that's what I did. Sorry that I didn't understand your very simple and clear question.
Because we know you and Karen were very good friends. I mean, she came back on the show just to say goodbye to you when you were regenerating, so...
Yeah, she is. She's one of my best friends. I love Karen. She is blue at the moment.
Yeah, we've heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
That's Lola. Can I ask a real question and then a stupid question?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure who the teacher is. Is there a teacher?
You should ask the dumb question first or the stupid question.
Wait, you want the stupid one first?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
You do you.
What did you like doing? What was more fun? You playing on the Terminator or being a doctor?
Being the Doctor. Of course. Sorry. Yeah, no, definitely being the Doctor. Being the Doctor, being the Doctor.
Okay, maybe that was stupid too, but... I was looking at your thing. You know what's weird? Why does your autograph cost more than your picture? It's weird.
Well, I don't know about that. Is something I can't answer.
That's for the festival organizers.
Yeah, that's a. But actually, you know, that's not a stupid question. I think that's a very. I will ask. I will ask. I mean, I'm sorry it costs you guys anything and you have to queue. It's right. Bye.
We have time for a couple more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Whoa. Gold person.
I'm a disco ball.
I like
can
it.
I ask 2 questions? Is that okay?
That'll make it 3, but go.
What was it like? I asked Alex Kingston this question last year, and I heard her opinion as like an insider of the information, but I was wondering, what was it like to find out in the show at the time, like the secret of Amy and River and their relationship?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it's kind of like being a fan because you get these scripts and then you read them and you're like, oh my god, and then you ring Alex or Karen and go, did you read page 49? And they're like, yeah, and you're like, whoa. And then you ring Arthur and you go, yeah, you're dead again. He's like, oh, what? Really? Okay.
My other question was, the personality of the Doctor is like really childish and enthusiastic and bubbly and kind of innocent. And then you play Prince Philip, which is really serious. But then you also have the role that you did on Secret Diary of a Call Girl with Billie Piper. And I was just wondering, what kind of like role and personality do you feel more comfortable in that fits you better?
Oh, that's a good question. Alien ones. People that are aliens. People that are on the outside, don't really fit in. That's how I like playing those guys. Yeah. But where do I feel more comfortable? I don't know. I try and do the things that make me feel uncomfortable. Remember.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So how do you think props like robots get made? How do they get made?
How many? God, a lot. I mean, if you take things like the cyber, well, often there's people inside all of these things that we think are autonomous beings from outer space. So, but yeah, there's a huge production line of everything. There's countless Daleks. There's Daleks everywhere. Stephen Moffat's got one in his study, and he's got a weeping angel in his garden. It's just down at the bottom of the garden. He's got this angel, which is like, wow, in his enormous house.
You wanted to invent them in real life. What do you possibly do to achieve that?
Well, robotics are not my strong point. But, I don't know, it's, I'd contact a very clever scientist. Maybe I'd ask Stephen
All you have to do is build it.
Yeah.
You think we will see all this stuff in Doctor Who maybe one day? Like in real life?
Yeah, maybe. I don't see why not. I believe in the possibility of time. Thank you, my friend.
We've got time for a couple more questions. A few more.
Hello. So, I just wanted to ask, when you found out that Missy was in the show, were you at all disappointed that your doctor didn't get to at all do anything with the master?
Yeah, I was actually, yeah. I sort of wanted a bit of master action.
And I also got another question. Who do you think should play the master next?
That's a really good question. No, I shouldn't. No. I'm the 11th Doctor, that's fine. I don't know, who would be a good master? Because I want to get this right. Mark Strong, he'd be quite good, would he? It's got a...
Helen Mirren.
Who's that?
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. Oh, going with a woman. Nice, okay. Maybe. That's a good question. I haven't got an answer, and I don't want to give random names that I don't really believe in, because it's such a wonderful part. Fassbender would be great. He'd never do it, but he'd be great. Yeah, I don't know. Let me come back to you next time I'm in Toronto.
Thanks for the session.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
So you were my favorite part of The Crown, and I was wondering if you had a hard time kind of reconciling the fact you were going to be portraying a living person who didn't always make widely popular decisions in his actions. Did you have any anxiety around that?
Well, it's always very difficult when you're playing someone that's alive, because you want to do them a service, I suppose. You want to get them right, and especially when they're so ingrained in the psychology and the psyche of the world, really, particularly in Britain. The thing is about his gaffes or people or the things he says and stuff, I think he's great. And he's dealt with such a huge responsibility and pressure. And what's amazing about Prince Philip is he does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. He doesn't ask his wife, and she's the queen. And I was like, what's not to like about this guy? And then actually the more that I looked into him and I started to read about him, the more I found there's rich depths to the man, and he's much more sort of forward-thinking and much brighter than people give him credit for, I think. And he's a cool dude.
So, Matt is going to be signing for another hour, so we've got time for one more question before we send him off to do that.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, I have a very important question for you.
Wow, okay, good.
Are you just...
Oh wow, this is really, that was the perfect time. Cool. No pressure, man.
Are you just fed up with Karen ditching you at all these conventions lately?
Karen is very busy. It takes twice. I know, but when you're being painted blue, God love her, she's in 5 hours a day. She wanted to be here. She did. I'm very sorry. Yeah, but I am. I'm outraged, frankly. This panel would have been much better with Gillan. But, bye-bye. No, she would love to be here. She'll come back. I'm seeing her tomorrow, so I'll pass that on.
So what questions should we collectively all send her on Twitter in response to this?
Just say, Karen Gillan, I love you, you're the best. Come on, it's Amy Pond, man.
Thank you.
Well, before I let you go, you were touching on it earlier. Whenever a new doctor is announced, there's always that, scuttlebutt. Oh, he's too young to play the doctor. It's this, that. What do you say to the people who are here now who have supported you through your doctorship right now?
Doctorship?
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for, coming back to see me in Toronto, because I remember many of you from 2014. I think it was. Was it 2014? God, I've got so old. And I'm thrilled to still be part of this bizarre family therapy environment that we all share together. And thanks for your continued support. And I will ask why the bloody photos are less expensive than the bloody autographs, for God's sake. No, thank you for your time, really. It's been